If you somehow don't know what ABA is, it's one of the most popular Roblox anime games. It has a very strong community and gets monthly updates, or at least it's supposed to get monthly updates. It usually has a consistent player count of around 8 to 10,000, but when ABA gets an update, it could be at 15,000 or higher for a pretty long time. But recently the game has dipped to a pretty low point, around 4,000 players on average. So, is it dying? Are people moving on to something new? Or is this just something that could be explained easily? Let's take a look at a few reasons why ABA might be losing players. So the first and most obvious thing, and probably the reason for the player count dipping, is ABA's update schedule. ABA's update schedule is horrible. Anime Battle Arena is supposed to receive one update a month, which is actually perfect. Like, that isn't bad at all. It's not over updating like Shindo, and it's not under updating like GPO, but the developers don't give a fuck about that schedule at all. Par and Snake's consistency in updating ABA is actually almost laughable. They'll wait until the very last day and then make a funny joke like I live in Hawaii in order to get more time to release an update. The way ABA updates is inconsistent also. Having to wait for multiple developers to finish their own characters always causes issues. Other times they'll just skip a month or wait until it's like halfway through the next month and then release a bunch of characters. But ABA requires constant updates. The way the game works is a character drops, people play that character, they get bored of it, and then they get off ABA. When they drop more characters at once, you'll probably just get bored of all of them quicker. And a lot of times this just ends up having, rushed characters released for an update, rushed low effort characters with just copy and paste skills. And that brings me to my next point, and that's the characters suck. Yeah, ABA is horribly unbalanced, but to complain about each character's, balancing is gonna take a really long time. I could probably make a whole video of that. So I'm just gonna tackle this at the root of the issue instead. Why is ABA unbalanced? This goes back to the update issue. People get bored. If Par and Snake randomly start dropping balanced characters, people will start, getting really bored of them. Instead, Par drops a character with 12 moves, 18 health bars, and 5 awakenings, and then the entire community is gonna hop on the game to see how brain dead it is. In order to keep people interested, every single update has to be more and more brain dead, and this is a problem in a lot of Roblox anime games and why they're so unbalanced. Something that I briefly mentioned earlier but didn't really get into was copy and paste characters, or reskin skills in characters' kits, which it's lazy, okay? But it's okay. People can do that. Developers can do that in these games as long as they don't overdo it. And ABA overdoes it. There are characters in the game which, their entire kit is reskin skills. And that is just the laziest thing ever. And don't get me wrong, it's not the complete worst thing that's ever happened to ABA. It's not like two characters are gonna have the exact same kit. So, I mean, that's good, but it's still just lazy. But it's a minor complaint. Anyway, besides the character balancing and the update schedule, I have another reason. I think Par and Snake are just generally bored of updating the game. Honestly, at this point, that's what it really seems like. ABA kinda just seems like a passion project where the developers get to make whatever they want, whenever they want, and, they're just free to do whatever. And that's not a bad thing at all, but people care about this game, and if it keeps on going like that, then the game is most likely going to keep on having a constant low player count. So, is ABA dying? It has many more problems than the ones I listed, but those are the big ones. Is ABA dying, yes or no? And the answer to that is no. Even though ABA has been out for such a long time, it's not dying. All games that don't get an update for a long time are going to experience a dip in player count. And ABA hasn't gotten updated at all recently. ABA is a simple game. When there were no good battleground games on Roblox, ABA came out, and to this day, it's probably still the best one on Roblox. However, the update schedule is a major problem that needs to be solved. So Snake, instead of spending all your time and effort on these projects that you're not going to use for a game, maybe you should spend that time and effort on a fucking ABA character. Subscribe and goodbye.